I'm back. So, quite a long time since I last posted a film, about maybe a month, a little bit more than a month, so apologies for the big gap, but a couple of things. I came down with kind of like the flu. I was in bed for almost a week, maybe man flu, but yeah, all right up until Christmas I was kind of really not very well, so I was in bed, so all my plans went out the window, and then Christmas, so been off for Christmas, but I'm back, although still a bit not 100%, still feel a bit kind of wheezy at times, but anyway, that's by the by. So what am I doing? Well, I'm back in North Wales, and someone messaged me on Instagram last week, about 5 days ago, and said, can you do a video on what do you do when it's grey? And I set off for North Wales this morning at before 6 a.m. and weather forecast was for blue sky. And then I got here and I thought, I've been jinxed with greyness, but if I turn around, there is a bit of blue sky. So what I'm hoping is some of that sky is going to clear and get some nice views. Although it's beautifully calm, still day. Where am I? So Capel Curig is just over there, and this is going to be one of those really kind of, I'll either get this right or I'll get messages. Llyn Mymbyr, 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 best guess, and Snowden is over in that direction. But what I'm going to do is work my way around the side of the lake, hope that blue sky shine some light on Snowden, and I can use these really calm conditions, because the lake is like glass at the moment, calm conditions to get some nice reflections, and there's snow on the peaks, so hopefully a bit of snow on the peaks, nice reflection, and some nice, hopefully, light. It's still only 8 a.m, so sun's not fully up yet, so I'm going to go just head back into the woods and then work my way along. There's actually two lakes. I think it used to be one big lake, but there's two lakes, so this is the larger of the two, but just around that headland there's a kind of connecting river and another lake, so I think you get the better views of Snowden from the other lake. But going to work my way along. And is it too early to have my soup? I'm in position. So believe me, trust me, behind the mist and the clag, Snowden and the Snowden range, but I've had a couple of glimpses through the clouds, so kind of tantalising glimpses, but it's just a waiting game now. There appears to be a bit of a shift. Well, I don't know whether it's wishful thinking, but I thought I'd show you the composition I'm working on while I'm waiting for something to happen. So, at the moment it's just grey, so I'll come bright with that. So I've got these rocks here, and there's a small tree just on the end of those rocks there. So I mentioned that it was two lakes joined, so there's the slightly bigger lake, and then there's this join comes through here. But what I'm doing is I'm using this as kind of a leading line. So I've got this area down in my bottom right hand corner of the river, or I don't know whether you call it a river or just a kind of narrow bit of the lake, plus the rocks all leading round. So the rocks lead in that direction, this spit of land leads in that direction, and then I've got it's quite a famous farmhouse just on this rise in the middle distance. That's on my rule of thirds, and then when the cloud clears, up here would be snow-capped mountains. So I quite like the composition, but it's just a waiting game. And what I'll do, I was actually on f22 there, which I'll change. I was on f22 because I just tried to take a kind of an image to show a bit of movement in the clouds, but it didn't really work. What I will do when the cloud clears is I'll probably go f11, maybe f16, and I'll do some focus stacking. So I'll take an image with the focus on these rocks, an image with the focus on those rocks, an image with the focus on that farmhouse, and then an image with a focus on Snowden and the mountains, and then stack them, and what you get then hopefully is a really kind of deep focus range. It's quite simple to do. You just kind of same composition, obviously. Don't move the camera, just move your focus point, and then in Lightroom you can just stack it, and it does all the hard work for you. So just waiting now. I was looking at images that way back towards Capel Curig because it brightened up a bit, but it's gone claggy again. Still waiting. Tiny glimpse of the mountains through the clouds, but nothing to get me pressing the shutter. But I just thought I'd show you something. So I've dropped the graduated filter in just to take some of the brightness out of the clouds, and when the it clears some of the brightness out of it. It's actually got darker, but some of the brightness off the mountains. Just thought I'd show you. We'll see if this works. So there's an image without the filter. There's an image with the filter. So with and without, it's slightly different because the cloud had moved, but hopefully you can kind of pick up the difference. What I'll do is I'll post those kind of side by side, so you can just see the difference of why kind of in circumstances like this it's good to use a filter. The weather gods are shining on me. Look at that, look at that. So hang on, just check the time, because I think I last spoke to you, what was it, about 8:30, something like that? It's now 20 to 12. So I've been in the same spot. In fact, I tell a lie, because I went down there and I collected that bag of rubbish. So people have been camping down there, and there's tins, pans, all sorts in there. Anyway, it's by the by. Sun has come out. Sky has turned blue. There's someone on the holidays on that plane. And just about see Snowden. There's still some cloud kind of covering the peak, and the image doesn't really make sense without being able to see Snowden. So it's a nice setup. So I quite like the setup with the rocks and whatnot, but without being able to see Snowden, which is in the middle of the image, doesn't really make sense. So I've taken some images with the cloud on, but you really, you know, if you're taking an image of the lake and Snowden, you've got to be able to see Snowden. And at the moment, it's a bit too hidden in the cloud. There's also a little bit of a challenge in that. So I don't want to blind you, but the sun over there is just about over the peak of Moel Shabod, which looks lovely with a bit of snow on it. But it means there's enough light on this side of the valley, but kind of really dark there. So you know, that is more or less black if you expose for kind of an average view. So I'm not too bothered about the rocks because they're picking up a little bit of light. So I'm avoiding in my composition, I'll show you. I'm avoiding as much of that side of the valley as possible. Just got a little bit there, but I don't really want kind of that blackness because it would distract from the image. Now the peak of Snowden, if that cloud keeps moving, Snowden's peak is going to be perfect. Oh, another photographer does that. Another YouTube photographer does that all the time. Who could that be? Let me think. Anyway, just wait for that cloud to shift, and then I'm going to take some image. I've got in the habit now of doing that. Stop it. So just waiting for those clouds to nip out the way. Hopefully not more coming behind. But yeah, I'm really pleased with the way it turned out. And look back towards Capel Curig. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, sorry for the hand in front of my face, but it's a hazard of the sun being at such a low angle. So I've moved a little bit, come along the shoreline, and look at that. Look at that. So the cloud is more or less cleared. I think there's another like layer of cloud coming in, so I'm trying to work quickly. But I've come here because the wind has dropped. You've got this amazing, amazing flat, calm piece of water, and I'm shooting straight into Snowden and Llyn, and there's the farm obviously here. So trying to make the most of that reflection. So hopefully you can see what we're getting. Got the reflection. farm here and Snowden and Llyn. And I'm just exposing for Snowden, which is leaving kind of some darkness here. So I'm going to take one exposure over here and probably blend those together. But it's pretty special. Conditions are so much different than they were earlier on today. Just take one there. And I'm zoomed in a little bit, as you can see, so hopefully you saw that. I'm zoomed in just about there. Hopefully you can see what's going on there. But wow. Gosh, almost perfect conditions. There's obviously a bit of wind blowing on Snowden because you can see the clouds spinning up, but pretty pleased with that. So I'm going to try a few more here and see how that goes, see what the cloud does. But I mentioned earlier, you know, without being able to see Snowden, the picture doesn't make any sense, but that looks all right to me. I'm going to turn that off. So I'm actually stood in the water. Taking a slightly different approach, so I've dropped my 70-200 lens in, which I don't use all that much, to be honest. But this is a kind of perfect opportunity, and I'll show you what I'm trying to do. It just gives that extra reach, so hopefully it's probably a kind of bit hard for you to see. What I'm trying to do is take a panorama zoomed in on Snowden and Llyn and that farm. So I'm at 70. I can go right in, but I don't want to go that close. So I'm at 70. I'm going to take a image there, spin so the farm's in about the middle, take an image there, spin so I've got the whole of Snowden Massif, as they say. And so that's a 3 frame panorama. Hopefully it works. The sun is shining on the farm and all the good things, but the clouds are coming back, so had to work quickly, and hope that all sorts itself out when I stitch those together. So quite a rare opportunity for me to use my 70-200. The cloud came back, so there was maybe a half an hour spell of blue sky, and then grey cloud came back over, so half an hour was long enough and it was worth the wait. So hope you enjoyed the views of Llyn Mymbyr and Snowden and the Snowden horseshoe. I enjoyed it, so it's the end of the trip. That was my first for the year, so hope it was worth the wait for you. Taking a bag of rubbish back. Oh, and I had, talking of rubbish, had my first YouTube troll over the break. Someone commented on my film from Liverpool saying, "Your country looks like the inside of a men's toilet, not very appealing." So I suppose a creative trolling, but thought it was quite amusing that someone would take the time just to kind of log on and kind of do that. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're a subscriber. If you're not, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget, if you're a subscriber, to press the little bell so you get a notification of when my films come online. And hope to see you on the next one, whenever that might be, probably in about a week's time if all things go to plan. Bye.